Hey, hello everyone. Good to see you. It's Jason. I have been contacted by a few people at SJS asking what Zoom is and if I know any other fun technology we can use in these, I guess, pandemic times. So instead of me, I guess, individually emailing a bunch of people, I decided to use some of the technology and kind of relay how it works. I'll try to keep this video short and only focus on the things that are really needed or used or I could foresee you using. Um, Also, just a couple things to note. I just got off the treadmill. I'm pretty sweaty. I know I don't look professional. I just turned 45. The chin's a little sagging. So ignore all of those things and just focus on the technology. Also, my price. If you are willing to contribute a roll of TP, I would be very, very pleased with that. Just joking. We're actually stocked up, I think. So anyway, before we get going, I will just tell you, if you need any help with any of this, feel free to contact me, or if any of it strikes your fancy. There are tons of videos. And actually for my education technology class, I actually have a YouTube channel that has like more in depth on all of these, but I'm just going to focus on 4 or 5 and just share them with you. So with all that babbling and bad jokes and such, let's just go. All right, the very first thing, the thing that I'm actually using to record this is something called Zoom. If you have a college student, you've probably already heard of Zoom. If you've watched the news, you've probably heard of Zoom. If you buy stocks, you've hopefully bought some Zoom stock. But Zoom is basically a recording site where you can do multiple things. As it says up there at the top, it's a meeting ID. If we wanted to, we could have met live. I would have just sent you a link from my Zoom account, and I'm going to talk with my hands. I'm going to do that a lot. But you would have had Brady Bunch windows up here, and all of our little faces would have been seen. I would say if you're interested in doing this, you could actually schedule a time to meet with your students, especially if we go on for a few weeks, just to see everyone and touch base if you just set up a time. And if those students can't make that time, you can actually record anything that you do on Zoom. So as you can see up here in the corner, I think it should be showing, there's a little recording where I'm recording everything that I'm doing. Don't have the Brady Bunch window up yet, but you will see that in a second. And also down here, you just do all that. Also, I'll just go ahead and show. It'll show how many people are in. You can actually chat also. And if someone doesn't want to chime in and just ask a question on the side, as you can see there's chat. Boom. And I'll get rid of that. And as you can see who's in the meeting. You can record it. And in a minute, I'm going to do this. Share screen, and you will see a sample of the Brady Bunch window. Um, Zoom is pretty cool. Like I say, you can record very easily and post things up on Google Classroom or just email it to your students if you want. You can use it to record lectures, touch base, whatever. With all that being said, I'll come back and show you the site for Zoom at the end. But if you want to do some sort of recording of a lecture or share something or talk about something, you hit share screen. I'm going to share that, and hopefully my face now is up in the corner, as you can see. And now I'm moving around. You can drag it wherever you need to. And I'm in a Brady Bunch window. I'm going to just show you some educational technology that I would recommend maybe using or giving a shot. We're stuck. I'm going to imagine people have a little bit more time. Maybe you can experiment with some things. The very first thing that I'm going to actually show you is something called Edpuzzle. The reason I'm going to show you Edpuzzle is because I've noticed just with 5th grade and just talking to other people just in passing, a lot of people are using educational videos that are up on YouTube, and there's a lot of good ones. I use them myself. Edpuzzle, though, is really, really cool in that you can use videos from YouTube, Khan Academy, National Geographic, well, you can read the list, and there's even the dreaded math down there at the bottom. But I'm just going to hit my content. I have a Edpuzzle account. Ignore some of these. I had to do research. I'm not a big video gamer, but I had to do something for a class, and they asked for history and Nintendo. Sorry, side note. Edpuzzle is actually really cool. Once you select the videos you want, you have options to put questions within those videos, and you can share it with your students. They can do them as quizzes, assignments. They can go back and rewatch it. You also have the capability to actually make it where if you put questions in there, the student cannot exit the video or cannot skip ahead to other questions and complete it without watching the video. You can also actually put your voice within the video when it stops and say, hey, I would like to make the point that look out for this, or make sure that you know this, or things like that. There's a lot of flexibility with Edpuzzle. I'm actually going to play a video. It's on the French Revolution. I'll show you a couple things, but let me hit this. As you can see, before I hit play, I'm going to move my little face. There's open-ended questions here. That's the only way I set this up. There's ways you can do things, like I say, and add different ways. You can do multiple choice and whatever. But as you can see, you would just assign it to your students. You can edit it. You can do whatever. Let me just play it. We'll watch the first 30 seconds, and I think you'll get the point. Oh, by the way, each one of those little raindrops or tears, whatever, I guess if you're pessimistic, they're tears, and if you're optimistic, maybe they're raindrops. But those are where the questions are. So let's hit it. That's a squirrel, in case you didn't know that.
The French Revolution, the emergence of the modern state. So, how did this all begin? For hundreds of years prior to the revolution, French people, like most Europeans, were divided into three social estates: clergy, nobility, and the lowest estate, the commoners, which existed to serve the other estates. Above.
Okay. Now, you'll see right on the side where my face is, which I'm going to move, it says open-ended questions. Students would have to answer that question before the video would go on. Now, I will say this, you will need to play with this a little bit. You don't have to use that feature. Like, I actually have this one set up where I could skip this question. You can actually go into, when you're setting the video up, and make it that they can't skip the video. I think I'm sure everyone knows this, but with these YouTube videos, the research shows or seems to imply that you don't want to make these videos probably more than 5 to 10 minutes, probably closer to 5 than 10. But you can definitely utilize them and kind of get things in there and show. And again, you can add, like I say, your voice. You can put notes in there, or as the video is playing, little bubbles will pop up if you want. There's something you really want students to do if you don't want to record. So Edpuzzle's really, really cool. And again, you get a grade book if students answer correct. You can take grades on this. So I would maybe experiment with it. It seemed to be one of the more popular things with our teacher candidates down at Shepherd. Because I think it's really just practical. A lot of the stuff spells and whistles. This one, I think, because so many people are using YouTube videos right now, might be pretty neat to try. But again, Edpuzzle, again, if you're interested in this, I do have a YouTube site with a little more information. And of course, Edpuzzle has many help sites. All right, next thing I'm going to show you is something called Wakelet. Wakelet is actually pretty simple. I'm going to say this 5 times. It is also very, 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 5, easy to use. It's basically just a portfolio system, and I've seen this used different ways. I use it as an information gathering site. As you can see, there's different things that I've had to work on at work that I'm just kind of find things. I'll show you what I'm throwing in there. I have actually seen teachers, and there's a lot of sites that tell you how to do this, but you can actually set up storyboards and a lot of language arts assignments for things, research. I know 5th grade right now is doing science fair. So let me just show. We're doing our science fair project. We're doing it related to how far graphite versus steel golf clubs. It's very exciting and actually pretty cool. But if I wanted to find information and was just doing a bunch of searches for this, and I don't want to write things down, you can actually hit create new collection. We're going to call it the best science fair project in history. And I can pretty it up if I want. We're not going to do that today. You hit the plus sign. And as you can see, I can post anything I want in here. I can post YouTube videos, tweets, images, PDFs, things from Google Drive, Flipgrid, which I'm going to show you in a second. I've only fiddled with Flipgrid, but I'm going to get distracted. So we'll come back to that. You can type notes. And probably the most famous thing or most popular thing is just posting a URL. So let's just type in golf. And if I wanted to use this site, golf.com, or an article in golf.com, I would literally just copy it, go back to the best science fair project in history. I would, well, there's many different ways you can do it, but we'll just paste it that way. Paste it in there, and look, it is going to be in there. Now, here's the beauty of this. Like I say, you could get creative and have students like find things or research things or show you this. They could also, if you assign something like, hey, I want you to find 5 things on West Virginia state symbols, and just give me a link about the history of each one of them. You can actually, once you get everything set up here, I'm going to show you, but that's how you post it in there. Let me close this out and I'll show you how to share it because I don't need that folder. Um, this is my ed tech folder actually for my class. And this is when I find something that's cool, I throw it in here. If I wanted to share this with you all, there's a couple of different ways to do it. I can either, one, just copy the link and email it to you, which you could do with your students. You can also post it to Google Classroom, Facebook. I hope you're not Facebook friends with your students. That's a bad idea. You can tweet it if you like to tweet and such, but there's the whole, I guess that's the cloud. Um, if anyone's interested in this and different ways to use Wakelet, I'm kind of talking about it as a portfolio system, as ways for your students to share or for you to share information with your students. But there are lesson ideas. Like I say, I've seen most of the time it's been with language arts and storyboarding or just information gathering or sharing of work, writing process type stuff, things like that. If anyone's interested in some of these technologies, feel free to fire me an email and I actually will share this Wakelet with you. But there's some. All right, that's Wakelet. Well, since I mentioned it, I'm going to show you Flipgrid real quick. Flipgrid's another one of these recording devices where students actually get a little bit of an app and you pose questions to them and they basically record their answers on their phone. They record their answers on their phone and they send them to you. I'm actually going to go out and just show you because this is something that I've been fiddling with a little bit, but I don't have a direct example with. Example of Flipgrid. So I asked students a question. As you can see, there's a whole nice class. And there's a how-to if you ever need it. But here you go, Flipgrid. That's Flipgrid in 3. I didn't mean that one, but that's all right. But you can see.
Hi there, folks. I'm here to share one of my favorite tools for capturing student voice, which is Flipgrid. Flipgrid is an awesome, cool video response option. You pose your question, and then individuals are able to record their answers, and they're limited to 1 minute and 30 seconds. Really.
There you go. I couldn't have said it better myself. You pose a question, and they answer it in 1 minute and 30 seconds. I believe they can download the app and share it with you. You just have to create the home space or the link for them to do it. Again, it might take these things take like 5 minutes to set up. So, and in these times, I have a feeling you might be home and have the ability to do that. So the next thing I wanted to show you, that's Flipgrid. Again, I do have some information on that. I'm going to hype it. I know we did a PD on this a couple years ago. Some people liked it, some people did not. But I will say this, I'm going to say this. And I know the diocese, I don't know if they still have logins or not. In these dark times, this is actually a pretty beneficial thing, is Nearpod. And the reason why I think it would be beneficial is Brandy Farmer, who is actually probably the expert on this, you can do these as independent type activities. You don't have to do them as a class like we did at the PD. And also, you just give them the class code. And also you can get quizzes, you can get grading, you can get fun examples. You give them that code, they can be self-paced. They don't have to be there all at once, as I just said. But just in case anyone wasn't at the professional development or don't remember this, I'm just going to give you a real quick rundown. Let's just do a preview real quick. I think it seemed to work better. This is Nearpod, by the way, can be posted on Google Classroom if you need it to be. But as you look, there is a nice little thing and you can just flip through. This is something I do, and there's all types of bells and whistles. I don't know if it'll show it to us right now because it's probably being crashed, but this is a question. Let's see if we can get it's still loading. It's going to make me go back out here in a minute probably. Let's go back. Boop. Let's see if we can get it on this one. Let's see. I'm going to show you. If you want to make one, you can load PowerPoints. Oh, there you go. Look at that. You can do a lesson in Google Slides, a lesson in Nearpod. You can do sub-plans, which is what you could do with your students. Just give them the code. But hold on. Let me go back. I'm going to try this one more time. I'm a little scared to try one that might crash on you. Let's see. It'll crash on us. Let's see if this one works. There we go. This is an old presentation I did. But as you can see, of course, there's the PowerPoint. But there should be little things we can put in here in a minute There we go. You can have open-ended questions and you can get those results. That's the Mona Lisa. They can draw on that. Here's a virtual tour. You can do field trips. There are tons of them on Nearpod. See, there's that guy. There's the Mona Lisa, which, by the way, you will not be able to see right now. So this might be really good. There you go. I don't know how long the Louvre will be closed. And also, those are not hand sanitizers. That's just in case there's pickpockets. So anyway, Nearpod, you can also do different things. Again, open-ended questions. There's multiple choice and such. I know we've kind of done this, and the diocese really tried to push this. So again, I would just say if you have questions about setting up an independent one in your Google Classroom, contact me. Maybe contact Brandy. She, like I say, I know was awesome in using this. She's the pro. So that's Nearpod. And again, you can put that up on Google Classroom. Another one that you can use is Quizlet. I know a lot of people are familiar with Quizlet. We actually use it at home, the reviews for vocab sometimes and citizenship quizzes and things like that, because you can just download it on an app and it recalls. There's a lot to Quizlet, though, that I know more than just simple review. There's something actually called Quizlet Live, where you get instant feedback from students you can meet all at one time. It's kind of similar to Nearpod in that you get the code. It's even similar to Kahoot in some ways. But you can also see there's tons of classes. I'm just going to go to our History Bowl one. But you can actually sync these things up to different things. You can actually put them into Google. There you go. See it right there. Connect with Google Classroom. You can put these up. You can get the data from these quizzes and who's completed it. I know everyone's dying to know about the wildlife management areas of West Virginia, so why don't we click on that? There are flashcards. There's answers. Boom, 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 boom. Becky Creeks in Randolph County, in case you didn't know that. As you can see, students can review all that. There's learning. We can go back. I'm thinking most people have seen this. But as you can see, there's there. And you can get the results from everything once it's completed. Let me see. You can add terms. Again, I'm not going to go too far off the grid here with this, but I'm just trying to see if I can show you one thing real quick. Oh, there you can view your class progress if you want to do that. There you go. There's somehow some people have done and what they've completed. If you have to have that, you can actually enroll people, or you can send them an invite if you want to do a Quizlet and create it, and you can kind of check things. So I like it for vocab and just basic lower level Bloom's type stuff. But again, that is Quizlet. I also have showed Flipgrid, Wakelet, Edpuzzle. These are a few. Of course, you can just naturally record videos also. I was trying to think anything else. There's other cool ones if you wanted to fiddle around with. Pear Deck is one. Pear Deck is basically Google's answer to Nearpod, but not as many bells and whistles, but it syncs up very well to, sorry, that's a boring looking Pear Deck. It syncs up very well to Google Classroom. Let me see if I can get the fun one. There's a fun cover. Well, I guess we're not going to get it. You want to get it? No. Anyway, there you go. There's usually one with a real fun pair, but anyway. There you go. And there's again, different ways you can use it. It has a lot of Venn diagrams and ways that you can do it. And there you go. Seamless integration into Google Classroom. Again, I do have videos on this one if you're interested in it. If you're not into the bells and whistles of Nearpod and you would just like a base level thing and thought that you would record something or build something or integrate a PowerPoint if you have it, you can add the Pear Deck like activities into it. Like I say, a lot of them are questions or Venn diagrams or KWL charts and things like that. So that's Pear Deck. Anything else? I was just kind of think, like I say, there is Quizlet Live. I'm not going to get into that too much, but again, that's another one where you can do fun things at the same time. It's kind of like a Kahoot type thing. Of course, there's always Kahoot if you really want to get crazy and try to do one distance-wise. I wouldn't recommend that. So anyway, last but not least, probably the one that I was asked the most about is Zoom. I kind of mentioned it at the beginning, some of the things you have, but if you do want to try Zoom, just email me or contact me, or you can Zoom me, or I can Zoom you, or I can send you a Zoom. How's that? Anyway, you can go in here and set up a Zoom account. Again, I think I said it at the very beginning, but I like hearing myself talk. 40 minutes is what you get if you sign up for a free Zoom account. So whatever video you make cannot be over 40 minutes, but there's a pretty easy workaround. You just stop the meeting and then you start a new one. Also, like I say, it might be nice if we're going to be shut in for a couple weeks to have face-to-face time with your students. I thought maybe the Zoom site would be crashing, but it seems like a lot of schools are using it, but I got in today with no problem in recording this lecture. So with all that being said, I think that should do it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And I think that's it. Thank you very much. I hope everyone is very healthy. I hope I didn't talk too fast. And if you need any of these videos in a more polished way, feel free to contact me. Like I say, I have recorded on YouTube for my 380 class. This was done a little impromptu. Have a great day, everyone. Bye. Oh, wait a minute. I'm still here. I stopped sharing. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.